At 7:15 p.m. on September 12, 1952, 3 boys were playing football outside of Flatwoods Elementary School in Braxton County, West Virginia. Suddenly, a giant light flew through the sky and appeared to land on a hill at the Bailey Fisher farm. The boys looked at each other in amazement and began running toward where the light went down. Later that evening, the young men, 2 of the boys' mother, and a National Guardsman walked into a police station in utter shock at what they had seen. Did they see a monster from another world? Or an alien from another planet, perhaps? Many questions would be asked, and few would be answered about what has become one of America's biggest mysteries. Before the rest of the episode, remember, if you enjoy Freaky What content, click the freaky liker button shaped like a hand. Subscribe to the channel and click the content alarm bell so you know when your favorite freaky content is uploaded. Okay, let's get back to it. Brothers Edward and Fred May and their friend Tommy Heyer were running in the direction where the mysterious light landed. While they were running, they saw Edward and Fred's house and decided to stop in to tell Mrs. May, their mother, what they had seen. Mrs. May immediately picked up the phone and called Eugene Lemon, a West Virginia National Guardsman and friend. When Mr. Lemon arrived, they all got in his truck and went to find this suspicious light. They headed toward the farm of G. Bailey Fisher. When the group arrived, they saw a large glowing orb hovering in the air. Eugene's dog immediately began barking, and when he shined a flashlight toward the wooded tree line, all of them saw a human-shaped creature staring back at them. They described the creature as 10 foot tall with a spade-shaped hood covering its head and a dark metallic dress. They also said the being had claw-like hands and a round, blood-red face. Apparently, the creature glided toward the group quickly, causing Lemon to drop his flashlight and prompting the group to run away in fear. Every member of the group said that there was a pungent mist in the vicinity where they saw the creature, and some said they became extremely nauseous. Kathleen May and Gene Lemon went to the local authorities, explained what they saw, and made a sketch of the creature. This sketch has become synonymous with this very event. The authorities went to the area of their sighting, but didn't see, hear, or smell anything out of the ordinary. Later, a gentleman named A. Lee Stewart Jr. claimed to discover tread marks in a nearby field with an odd gummy deposit that many say is evidence of a UFO. This story quickly began to make headlines and also gave the creature a name that would forever be synonymous with Braxton County, West Virginia, the Flatwoods Monster. Mrs. Audra Harper lived in Heaters, West Virginia, about 5 miles north of Flatwoods. Harper and a friend were walking to a nearby store. The road from the house into town was rough and hard to walk on, so they decided to take a shortcut through the woods. That's when Harper saw a small fireball on a nearby hillside. She denied it any attention, assuming that one of her neighbors was fox chasing or something else. When she looked back, the fire had disappeared, and in its place stood the Flatwoods Monster. Mrs. Harper saw a tall, dark silhouette of a man-shaped figure, something she had never seen before. She was terrified. The creature stared at them, and as fear grew inside her, she and her friend began to smell a horrible, sulfurous kind of smell. Then it stuck its bent, clawed arms out and hissed as it floated quickly toward them. Filled with fear, they ran. On September 13th, the day after Mrs. May, Mr. Lemon, and the boys saw the creature, a young couple, George and Edith Snitowski, were driving down a rural road when their car suddenly stopped working. It was dark, and Edith was concerned for the safety of their baby, who slept peacefully in the back seat of the car. George exited the vehicle, and a chill of air hit him, burning his lungs like knives. He disregarded the pain and went to the engine for the sake of his family. He attempted to fix the car. After several minutes, George began to smell a horrible odor, and his baby began to cry. As Edith tried to soothe their child, a harsh light suddenly appeared in front of them, and they were face to face with the Flatwoods Monster. Only this time, it did not have the spade-shaped hood, and its face resembled that of a reptile's. It floated towards their vehicle and placed its hand on the hood of their car before speeding off into the woods. As soon as the creature left, the car started, and they simply drove away. It has been many years since the sightings of the Flatwoods Monster. As time went on, the creature became very popular in Braxton, West Virginia, and took on many names, such as Phantom of Flatwoods, the Braxton County Monster, and the Green Monster. Lots of people have tried to explain what was seen and experienced, but no definitive answers have been given. Many skeptics believe that certain aspects of these sightings can be easily explained. For instance, on September 12, 1952, many people across Maryland, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia claimed to see a bright, blazing light in the sky. While a few said it was a UFO, many said it was nothing more than an impressive meteor. Certain witnesses claimed to smell an overwhelming mist that made them nauseous. Investigators believe that the nausea felt by witnesses was probably psychosomatic from the stress, and the mist was just fog. As for the Flatwoods Monster itself, skeptics say that a common barn owl was mistaken for this creature. The description of a spade-like face, outstretched claws, and raspy hiss are all characteristics of the common barn owl in West Virginia. But what about the size of the monster? Some people believe that the size can be attributed to the height at which the owl was perched before the flashlight beam spooked it, then causing it to glide toward the group. While some of these seem like plausible explanations, it's hard to say whether or not a group of people mistook all of these ordinary things for such a terrifying creature. Each person that saw the Flatwoods Monster told a very similar story and felt the same fear. Even though there are not a large number of sightings, the people who experienced this creature told a compelling story that makes you wonder what actually happened. Did an alien monster visit a small town in West Virginia for a few days and then leave? What was the purpose of its visit? Or did several people experience a moment of fear while imagining a monster? What do you think the people saw?